What's up, everyone? Your friendly neighborhood onesie guy here, and today I thought I'd share with you the 5 biggest mistakes and lessons I've learned over the past year of streaming and how I've already started to implement those things. Um, these are just kind of little tips from my side. Again, I'm still very small and only starting to really grow now. So these are just kind of things that I've learned. I would say just take them at face value because every person is different and the way they do things works for them. So this is just the problems I found with me, and the changes I've started making are the ones that I thought would be best for me. So moving right into number one, which is package over product. And by that I mean all the aesthetics that go with streaming. So your camera, your mic, all your equipment, your lighting, your stream overlays, your widgets, your YouTube intros and outros, your emotes, your widgets, all of those things. So I was prioritizing those aesthetic things and putting a lot more effort into that than into the content I wanted to make. That's both on stream and for YouTube. So what I've learned is to, like I said, put a lot more emphasis on the content I create. So some people would say, having it look visually appeasing would help your content as well. But if you're doing that at the expense of the quality of the content, then that's where you fall short. Now, as an example of people that use very minimal setups but still create great content, have great followings, for example, XQC. He uses a very simple streaming setup, just one webcam that he just moves around when he has to, and no hectic overlays, no hectic transitions, none of those things. So people are basically there for him and his content because one, he's a talented gamer, and two, he's entertaining. So he does put a lot more effort into the content he creates rather than the visual aspect or the aesthetics of the stream in general. Another example would be one of my favorite content creators, Moist Critical. So he doesn't stream very often, but when he does, he has a very minimalistic outlook as well on things. So as you can see, he kind of just has a camera border that shows up his latest subscriber, latest donation, highest donation, all the basics. But other than that, he really doesn't use anything else. And when he makes YouTube videos, he even sticks to an even more simple process. So this is kind of what his YouTube videos look like. He doesn't use any intros or outros. It's basically just him talking to the camera. And currently he has over 5 million, I think now over 6 million subscribers on YouTube. Granted, he has been doing this for a very long time, but it just shows that you don't need to have flashy things to make an impact. If you put enough effort into the quality of the content that you make, you're definitely going to move forward a lot quicker and a lot easier than if you're focusing just on the way things look. Now, number two is trend hopping, and I've seen this a lot lately, and I did this as well in the beginning. So there's always going to be really popular games and games that are going to crop up, which a lot of the larger content creators are going to go and jump on. And your natural feeling towards that would be, hey, if they're getting views and they're doing this, I should be doing the same. However, because they already have a large following, they can kind of go wherever they want and their audience will follow them there. So during this year or during last year, we had things like Fall Guys, which is now kind of just fallen away. Among Us, which was an older game that they kind of brought to the forefront and made it popular, and then everyone else wanted to play it. And again, it was a craze that happened, and a lot of smaller streamers tried to do the same thing, me included, without anything really happening. So I would say avoid trend hopping. Obviously, if you enjoy the games that are being played, that are popular, still I'd say go ahead and play those. Although to a degree, and that will come into the next point I'm going to make. So number three is failing to plan. And by failing to plan, I mean planning content entirely, from what you're going to stream, when you're going to stream, to what kind of YouTube videos you're going to create, and when you're going to put them out. from my side, I pretty much didn't plan anything more than a couple of days in advance. So I'm not saying, plan months or even a month in advance. Just, plan your week out as if you would do with any other job. With YouTube videos, I was just kind of creating whatever was popular, or what I was just feeling at the time with I had an idea, I'm going to do this right now, rather than thinking it through, thinking, okay, I've got a couple of ideas, let me shoot all of these things, plan it out, set it up for to go live whenever, and let it go out. The same with streaming. With streaming, I decided kind of the day of or the night before what games I was going to stream and kind of how I was going to do it as well. And that really wasn't working for me. The main reason it actually wasn't working is I was streaming popular games. So popular games like Fortnite or Modern Warfare, Warzone. So those games are obviously very popular. But by you as a small streamer streaming those, you're not going to get noticed at all, because you have these bigger creators that have a couple of thousand viewers at a time that are going to get much more attention than your 2 or 3 viewers stream. So you're not going to get found or discovered that way. So what I decided to do is I looked at the statistics of what was being played on stream and kind of how to grow, and doing some research into a lot of different ways. The one main way I found is by actually looking at Twitch's browsing Twitch's gaming page. Now, as you can see here, these are some of the top games with thousands of viewers at a time. What I did first is I sorted the viewers instead of from recommended to viewers from high to low, and then started going through the lower end games. So what I was really looking for, and from the information I gathered and the research I gathered, you want to look for games that had about 500 average views, no less than, I'd say, 100, but about 500 average viewers, but a large enough following. So a following of at least 300,000. So you'll see what I mean now. As you can see with Paladins, at the time that I took this screenshot, basically they had a viewing of 611 viewers, but the following was 2.1 million followers. So basically you can follow a game on Twitch, and those are the things that are going to be recommended to you when you log in, when you go online, when you want to watch something. So finding that spot of, like I said, that sweet spot of those games, it did take me a long time to look through a lot of the games, because again, I had to find games that not only did I want to play and maybe enjoyed playing, but something also that I didn't have to invest a lot of money in off the bat. Because basically I wasn't, or still am not, making any money off this, so investing more money just doesn't make sense. So from my side, what I decided to do is actually go ahead and play some Fallout 4. Now, this game averages about 150 to about 500 or 450 viewers at a time, but it has a nice following, 1.7 million followers. Now, I've been playing this for the last 2 weeks, and my stream has actually grown faster than it did over the last year previously. So I can attest that this does already start working. Just for the mere fact is that by having a small amount of viewers, you already appear on that first page. So as you can see, this is basically just if you open the Fallout menu, and you can see the highest views there is 58 viewers, and the lowest that you can see on that page is 2 viewers. So even if you have 2 viewers, you will show up in that top 8, which is generally what is seen even on mobile devices, and that will give you attention. That'll put you in a space where if you were playing another bigger game, you probably wouldn't be able to you wouldn't be seen and wouldn't be noticed, and people wouldn't even know you exist. So for me, that planning part and planning this way has actually helped me a great deal. So moving on to point number 4, which is only being active on social media when you're creating content. So what I was doing is only when I was going live for streaming or I'd put out a new YouTube video would I actually post things on Instagram or Twitter. And that was also a big mistake of mine, because the only content people saw or time they heard from me was when I was doing something. To have an audience and to grow an audience, you kind of need to be constantly engaging with them in one way or another. So I started to do daily uploads, whether it was just weird pictures or memes. So to show you some of the examples here, this one I posted a couple of days ago. I just saw a funny thing in game when I was playing Fallout. One of the settlers was stuck on the roof, so I kind of took a screenshot, made a joke out of it, and just posted it. Now, this wasn't before I was streaming. This wasn't after I was streaming. This was just on a random weekend. So again, a totally off-topic kind of off-topic thing, so that you could still engage with your audience. Same with this one. I kind of just was doing that whole anime filtered thing on Snapchat. I posted that, and again, just something to put out there to engage with the audience that I'd started to grow. Again, might not have gotten a lot of likes and a lot of attention, but it's still something. And I needed to consistently do that. That's what I've been trying to do now, and I have seen that it has been working. And the last point that I have would be listening to bigger channels, especially the ones that, give you the tips and tricks and secrets on growing your YouTube or Twitch channels. So I would say avoid these. 100% avoid them. Because firstly, these channels are already established channels. So by creating a video like this, they're drawing you in to get more views on another video for them. So they're growing themselves by creating this video. And number two, not everything they say is going to work for you. Yes, there are some simple tips that you could, use, having a appealing thumbnail, or having a appealing title, or finding a niche in the market on what to make a video on. But the main thing that I found is making videos on something you enjoy. Basically making videos on stuff you would like to see, like stuff you would watch, making videos on that, and just enjoying the experience of creating the content. So if that part of it isn't there, you're not going to grow anyway, because it's going to feel like a chore. It's going to feel tedious, and that's where it got to me, where I was just kind of trying to do stuff that a lot of these YouTubers were saying, this is what you need to do to grow your channel. So yeah, I could say, if out of everything here to take away from this video is not to do something like that. And I know I'm kind of doing the same thing, but again, like I told you in the beginning, these are just the experiences that I've had. You can just take them at face value. You don't have to do anything with them. But these are the lessons I've learned, and the small things I've started to implement that have actually made some progress for me. Within the last month, like I said, I've made more progress in the last month than I made in a year prior to that. So yeah, those are the 5 major mistakes and things I learned from them. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please follow me on all my other social media, as you can see over here. I also now have a Facebook page, which you can go ahead and check out. I will be getting my Discord up and running pretty soon. So again, also, if you guys aren't subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. And if you enjoyed the video or found it in any way informative, give it a like. Every little like and every little bit helps. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, or morning whenever you're watching this, and I'll speak to you guys again soon. Bye for now.